What's up, friends? It's Kev here. So, been seeing a lot of discussions lately around client and copywriter relationships. It's tricky stuff. There's a few things I will share that I think you'll find helpful. First of all, as a freelancer, the number one thing you can do to stop being abused, taken advantage of, not collecting your money, all these things that I see people gripe about and feel cheated and butthurt and want to spend a week posting dramatic threads on Facebook about it, is to set the standard yourself. Set your own standard for how the project needs to go down. So what does that mean? That means start with internally listing out, deciding, framing how you work best with a client, right? What materials do you need from them to do the proper research? How many discussions do you need to have with the expert that you're writing probably in the voice of? What steps can you take to really nail the voice of the expert? Is there a process for turning in some invoice copy samples so that they can check off in the beginning that you've successfully captured their voice? Because I can tell you, voice is one of the things that will cause the copy to not be deployed. Freelancers are always complaining about, oh, I turned into work and never heard anything. And it's probably because it was like totally out of voice. And again, it's up to us as the freelancer to say, one thing I want to make sure of is that I'm representing your voice properly. It's really important to me. I'm sure it's important to you. So what I'm going to do is, after I've done my research and I'm beginning to write first draft of the first draft very early in the process, I'm going to turn into you a page of copy that I feel is in your voice, and I want you to approve or correct some of that. You know how great they'll feel about that, right? First of all, it's something you need to do anyway, and if you make that a collaborative effort, they'll go from walking around nervous that you're going to blow the voice to going, wow, I'm sure we'll get the voice right, because we're going to make sure early in the process that that's the case. The reason these relationships go haywire is because two parties who have never worked together before are thinking that the other person knows what the hell they're doing, right? And again, it's got to be on us. It's got to be on the freelancer to know what the hell we're doing and set a criteria, have a project plan, and say to them, I will accept this job that you want to hire me for, so long as you agree that this is the plan we will follow. Is your team prepared to give me all the materials I've listed here? Are you prepared to have phone calls with me that I need to have to get information from you to write the best copy? Are you prepared to look over voice samples and outlines and approve headlines as we go through this process, right? Get verbal confirmation on all those things, even writing confirmation. It's so easy to send a signable document with that list of things, and then you make sure that it goes on their calendar, and then you don't run into problems like, oh, I'm halfway through, I need to start writing the draft. Last thing I need is an interview with the client, and he's in Turks and Caicos for 3 weeks, unavailable for conversation. Don't get surprised by that. If they don't know you're going to need those things, why would they be planning for them, okay? So, look, we could debate all day about who's at fault, is the business owner being an a-hole, or, blah, blah, blah. It always comes down to communication. And freelancers, I can tell you, I've been coaching freelancers for 5 years now. It's always better in our hands. It's always more fixable by us, and you will get paid better, more respected, You'll be able to do better work by being, as Carlton says, the adult in the room who lays out the project and the timeline and all those things. So buy in to yourself first as the expert, as the adult in the room, as the project manager. Create the criteria for getting all the pieces you need in your hands, in your head, so that you can start writing really good copy, and then get buy-in from your client to make sure that those needs will be met, and communicate really well throughout, and you won't have these problems. You won't have to spend a week in some Facebook group bitching everybody about how you got screwed over by a client. They probably didn't mean to screw you over. Nobody goes into a contractor agreement hoping it falls apart, or rubbing their hands going, ooh, I hope I get to blame this person for screwing this up. That'll be fun. It's not what anybody wants. So freelancers, set a high standard for how you work, and then vet your client just like they vet you, to make sure that they have the team in place, the time on their schedule, and the intent to give you everything you need. And I promise you, things will go much better.